these societal expectations have been put on us through a psyop of just bullshit about what's important. Is it important? What do you want in your life? How do you want to present? How do you want to act? How do you want to be? Where do you want to live? How do you want to live? What do you want to eat? What do you want to do? So many things that you don't even think about because you're too busy trying to fit into society and all the societal expectations that you've completely negated having a vision for yourself. Most people do not think about their future. You need to think about your future. Even though time isn't real, think about what you want to be doing. Think about where you want to be living. Think about what you want to be earning, what hobbies you want to learn. Think about the things you want to do and achieve in your lifetime. We are so distracted with such nonsense in the news and nonsense in this world that it's designed to keep you off your creation. So you are a creator. You are the ultimate creator in your life. So if you want to create anything, it starts with a vision. Now, your vision, it takes time to build it up because we get so clouded up with all the ideas of what we were told we should be wanting in life. It's like from school to parents to friends, neighbors, TV, movies, books, all kinds of things that have led us astray about what's really important to us. All these things that have made us clouded from knowing what's really important to us. So it's okay to take a step back and kind of peel off these layers of the bullshit, all the bullshit layers that you're like, you know what, maybe that's not actually important to me, maybe this isn't important to me, I'm counting down the days till when I stop wearing makeup. I'm like, ugh. Physical appearance has been so important to me when I was a kid, and I started wearing makeup, and I'm like, God, I wish I didn't, because now I'm so used to seeing my face one way that when I see it another way, I'd kind of judge myself. Isn't that nice? And I really don't want to set that. I don't want to set that bar for my daughter. She's beautiful just as she is. And I don't want her to think that this is normal. This is not normal. Yeah, I got blonde eyebrows and blonde eyelashes, and I'm just a pale blonde human being, except for when I'm, maybe 30 days out of the summer, I get a nice tan. But it's like these things that are these expectations, these societal expectations have been put on us through a psyop of just bullshit about what's important. Is it important? What do you want in your life? How do you want to present? How do you want to act? How do you want to be? Where do you want to live? How do you want to live? What do you want to eat? What do you want to do? There's so many things that you don't even think about because you're too busy trying to fit into society and all the societal expectations that you've completely negated having a vision for yourself. So the first thing I did when I was learning to create my own vision, the first thing I did was just grab a pen and a book, and I started to write down. Write down everything that comes to mind. That's the first thing. Now, as you start to write things down, you can cross out things that don't feel right, but pay attention to your heart's, the energy. I describe it like a little, burst of, ooh. That's the best way I can describe it. Is it's like when you're writing something down, if it's really in line, you get that, oh, feeling like ooh, goodies, on the tips of your toes, just excited about it. So start to write down everything that you think you want. It doesn't have to be like a bullet pointed thing. I mean, if that's how you rolled, then fine, do bullet points. But I wrote mine down as kind of like a rolling story. And it started out with, I have blah, blah, blah. I have blah, blah, blah. I live blah, blah, blah. All the things that I wanted. And the gardens and the greenhouses. And living in a place with well water and being off grid, all the things that I'm just these are important to me. I even wrote down that we grow 80% of our own food supply, and I homeschool my kids, and we live on a big acreage, and do everything: work, money, love life, family. For me, I went through everything, to details about where I wanted to be living, even the materials that my house is going to be made out of, everything down to copper pipes. I wanted as much detail as possible. Do that, because when you go into detail, it creates a vision. So write everything down, write it down. This is your story. Now, step 2 is read what you write. Read it. Read it every morning. Read it every evening before bed. Anything that doesn't feel aligned, like it really doesn't feel anything, you're like, that's really not important to me anymore. Cross it out, put something new. Everything that feels aligned, because you will start to notice this. And as you read through things, if you start to feel really heavy or low reading certain things that you've written down, you got to look a little deeper into why. Because sometimes we write things down that we really, really want, but then old subconscious programming can pop up and start to send you all these really silly memories that might say, you can't do that, you can't achieve that, that's not possible, that's not realistic, you're not good enough, you're not smart enough, you're not strong enough, all these things. And that's what you're actually thinking about when you're reading this. And that comes down to your self-worth and your memories and the programming that you've been fed for so many years. That stuff needs to get dissolved. Look at it. Ask yourself, what vision does this contribute to? Anything? No. Let it dissolve. What dream or goal did having these perceptions in your mind create or reinforce? Nothing? Let them dissolve. It's so easy to stay a victim to societal expectations and to the silliness that other people have put on us about what we are capable of. We decide. You decide what you are capable of, and you decide what you want. Nobody else. All right. So once you've been reading what you've written down, your little story of where you're going to be, what you're going to have, what you're going to do, all the fun things that you're building, read that every single day, every morning, every evening before bed. And as you do that, allow yourself, when you're lying in bed, to breathe deep and just see what kind of pictures start to come to mind. Maybe there'll be images of memories. Maybe it'll be brand new images. What I did was take my different images and I went into Canva and I used the AI picture generator, and I wrote in little short descriptions of different scenes that I wanted, like the house, chicken coop, boat, vacation spots, anything that you want. And you can create different pictures and print them off and take all those pictures that start to give you a better idea. Like, make sure they really align when you print out those pictures, that they look like something that is what you're trying to think of. Because if you have trouble doing visualization, this kind of picture image generation really helps. So you can do that and create yourself a wall. It's, or a vision board, as some might call it, but create yourself that vision board and start to look at that as well. And then watch things grow and change. And that image, that imagery, those pictures will start to imprint into your mind. So then as you read your story every morning and every night, those images will start to come to mind. So step 3 can be create the images. Create the images. This helps a lot. So once you've been doing that for a while and the images are starting to really live in your mind, and I did this for months, not just days, not just weeks, months. After I had the images creating in my mind, something amazing happened when I was lying in bed. And that was step 4, create a movie. So I had a moving picture in my mind where I was kind of starting to live. So have you ever done lucid dreaming? Where you're dreaming, but you're aware that you're dreaming, and then you start to be able to manipulate and change and build things? That is where this is going. So a mind movie is what I was creating. So every time I would go to sleep, I would kind of zap into, it was actually the kitchen of the house and the things that I was doing. And it always, for some reason, went to like Christmas time when I had all my family there and I was like chopping up different charcuterie food, and we had people playing music, and I was living in that thing. But before I got to that, it was the building of the house. So different details inside the house, like flooring, Some things would change. The way I had another kitchen off my first kitchen just for doing herbal remedies and medicines and stuff like that. All these things would start to build. And it was really cool. And you can do this too. So first you write everything down. Get clear on the writing. Read it over and over and over, every morning, every night. See what images start to come to mind. Use image creation to create those images and make your vision board. Then have those images in your mind, imprinting every day. Every time you walk by, take a minute to stare at them. Stare at them. Let them burn into your mind. And then have them start to move. Go into it. Don't see yourself as like you observing yourself, but see yourself acting in it. Be in it. And then once you do that, you can start to watch the magic happen. You will start to take actions in your life to make these things come to fruition. You attract these things because slowly you become the person already living in this reality. You become that person. You write everything down and you really get into it. Make sure you're following your heart the whole way through. You read those things every morning and every night. It sets you up in your mind to be thinking about these things and have that resonate inside your whole body. Create the images that start to come to mind. Create the images and make your vision board. Look at the vision board every chance you get and really feel what it feels like to be there. And then as you do that, it'll start to turn into a working, living movie in your head. And as you start to create this mind movie, put some music to it. Choose some instrumental music that you love, that you can listen to over and over and over and over. So pair your mind movie with that music. Get excited about it. Every time you listen to that music, I want it to trigger this mind movie. And something amazing happened when I was listening to my music right before sleep. And I would go into this mind movie and I would act out different things and I would have different amazing ventures in this mind movie, slowly building up this house and having guests in my family and Christmases and all of these things. And I would change things. I would tweak things and be like, try stuff out, like lucid dreaming. I would try it out, see if I like it. If I don't like it, I change it. It's amazing. And something amazing happens when you do that. When you do this mind movie, you start to act the way that you would act if you're already living this, because in your mind, you're already living this. You become the person that has these things. You act in the ways that you already act because you already have this. The feelings, the thoughts, everything starts to come together. So you can ask yourself questions every morning. What does Lindsay that has these things do? How does she act? How does she talk? How does she look? And then be that now. Only speak the words that match up with this reality. With your friends, with your family, with yourself, with your mind. Make sure that everything you are doing reflects already living in this mind movie. Use that music, that instrumental music, and I stress instrumental because words are very powerful. Choose something that you love. You can listen to it over and over and over. And then play that stuff and use your mind movie. I just wrote movie, but it's a mind movie. Got the steps. Write, read, create the images, look at the images, create the mind movie. And this is how you slowly create your vision. You live it, you breathe it, you feel it, and you take the actions, aligned actions, to turn this into your reality. Because you do not attract what you want, you attract what you are. Embody your future now, because time isn't real. And I'll see you on the next video.